Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome one and all to this edition of The Avenger Continues, a Star Trek discussion. This is episode number 15 of The Avenger Continues, the Star Trek discussion, a show where each and every other Saturday we will take a look at a specific episode from any of the series that aired between 1966 and 2005, or one of the feature films that happened to be released during that time, and we will watch and discuss it live. Of course, we invite all of you to not only watch the episode live with us or the movie live with us, but also discuss it with us in the chat and give a perspective on the episode from someone who has seen the episode multiple times or someone who has seen the movie multiple times. But maybe we notice a few things that we haven't noticed before while watching the episode, or we happen to know some behind the scenes information on what it took to bring either that episode or that feature film to our screens. And of course, tonight we are talking about an exceptional episode from the second season of The Next Generation. And that episode is The Measure of a Man, which we meet Commander Maddox, and his dilemma is Data the property of Starfleet? Is he sentient? Can he think for himself? And this episode was chosen by a co-host of mine, a co-host of Pacific War 4 Pop Talk. You all know him, you all love him. Let's bring in our own commander here, Cash Money 007.
Happy to be here and watching a great episode of TNG.
Yes. And Cash, I'm glad that you were able to come on the show tonight. And of course, one of my big questions here, and I'm going to start off with, what is it about The Measure of Man that made you decide this was going to be the episode you wanted to watch and discuss tonight?
I just like a lot of this episode because I grew up watching a lot of courtroom drama, and I love all the drama that goes on in this episode and this whole thing about, is Data more than human? And it's just a really good episode, really good, solid drama.
It is. It's one of TNG's finest episodes in its 7-year run. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, Brian, the Nerporial life form, joined the show, and we watched and discussed both parts of Chain of Command. And, that was another fantastic episode during the show's run. But really, when it comes to episodes that really cement the Next Generation's legacy, you have to start with The Measure of the Man.
Yep. That's why people can say whatever they want, but there's a lot to like about TNG. Sure, it has its problems here and there, but there's a lot of interesting characters. There's a lot of cool things that are going on. Sure, I can see people's complaints about certain things, but this is the captain that I grew up with. So,
The captain I grew up with. Yes, I did watch the reruns of the original series. Started doing that at 7 years old. Meeting Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. But as far as my first Starship captain and his crew, it's the cast of Next Generation. And of course, as I've mentioned many times before, I didn't really realize I was a fan of Next Generation until I saw the episode Yesterday's Enterprise. Before that, I was still sticking with the original series, but you can't ignore great episodes like this, The Measure of a Man.
Exactly.
If you say this is a terrible episode, I would love to hear your reasons as to why you think that way. But of course, before we get underway here, I do want to say hello to Lorenzo Sleestack. Good to see you, brother. I know you've retweeted a few of my posts on X, and I greatly appreciate that, but it's good to see you here tonight. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. And we also have, because she is the Admiral every Saturday night that we have this show, the Admiral, Lady Mist. Good to see you, Lady Mist. I hope you're doing well this evening. And also, thank you for being there last night as I went through all 8 episodes of Dispatch. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, if everybody is ready, the Cosme link has been pinned to the top of the chat. At least on Rumble. I have failed to do so over on the YouTube side. So let me fix that. There we go. Now it's pinned to the top of the chat. And if everybody is ready and they would like to come into Cosme and watch the episode along with Cash and I as we watch and discuss it, then let's go ahead and get that done. And yes, it was a lot of fun last night, Lady Mist. And I can't say it enough. You, Godzillionaire, DJ, everybody who was watching, listening, lurking, just like tonight, anybody who's watching, listening, lurking, thank you very much. But let's get underway with tonight's episode, The Measure of a Man. One of the first poker scenes for Next Generation. There you see Dr. Pulaski, who some fans hate, some fans love. Then you got Geordi, you got Data, Chief O'Brien, and Commander Riker. And notice the banter already, Cash.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you develop great characters.
Dang it, Cosme, be good.
I can pause it. Let me pause it.
It's all right. I can't go and complain about this over and over again. It's just Cosme, come on.
I know it's giving me trouble too. It's already stuttered for me, so let me know when you're ready.
Nope.
Are we back online?
We should be.
All right. I'm hitting play.
All right. So far, so good.
Okay.
I'll let you know if there's any problems. Maybe also.
And Lady Miss can see it fine. So it's on our end.
Okay. It's on our end. Okay.
Notice how Data's analyzing the cards. Even though he doesn't have his emotion chip yet, he's trying to determine whether Commander Riker is bluffing. And lo and behold, Riker was bluffing. And Jane, good to see you, brother. He says my power supply blew up and my hard drive is not working right. Damn, dude.
Oh no.
Damn. Did that happen yesterday or did it happen this morning?
Crap, bro.
Yeah, Shane wanted to join us tomorrow when we're watching Superman on Pop Talk.
Yes.
an old acquaintance of Picard's. Yesterday night. Damn, dude. What were you doing at the time it happened? I'm wondering if it just got too hot or maybe it was just time.
That's crazy. Sucks.
As you know, Cash, I play the intro for all the episodes.
It's fine. I just want Cosme to stop pausing on us. Come on, Cosme.
You were playing Rivals at the time. The Power Surge. Oh, man. That'll do it. Have you tried looking into getting a replacement drive? Or is that not in the cards at this moment? If life is not kicking me, then it's changing its boots too. Sorry to hear that, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I really am. Lady Miss being friendly and offering Jane to borrow her PC. We find out what she's been up to since the last time she and Picard met. And again, more banter. And of course, Bruce Maddox was introduced in this episode. The character would later appear in Picard season 1, but it wasn't the same actor. And Maddox is a cyberneticist. And how are you doing, Tree Rock?
Hey,
How's
Tree
your
Rock.
week been? And this is how it all starts. We'll listen to the dialogue here. Good evening, Lorenzo. How are you?
Hey, Lorenzo.
And of course, by the time of Picard season one, at least as far as that show's timeline is concerned, there were androids modeled after Data. And of course, anytime you have something like this where Data, for example, has been given transfer orders, you might think that the actor is leaving the show. That wasn't the case. That was just for drama's sake.
Fair point.
Yeah, condescending, isn't it, Lady Mist? That is an interesting question. I don't believe that Commander Maddox should be referring to Data as it. He is a Starfleet officer at the rank of lieutenant commander. He should be given all the rights and privileges that he was given with that rank and the respect that comes along with it. Card's serious about this. She's trying to crack a joke, and Card's serious. Even this first speech right here by Picard's pretty good. So obviously, there's other details about the captain, who's a JAG officer, and Picard's past that we're going to find out too. Anonymous, welcome.
Anonymous.
So, Cash, anything you want to say as we see Data looking at the holographic representation of Tasha Yar?
It's just, I feel like you do about Data has earned the title of being more accepted and treated with more respect than just being called an it. So,
And there's Data's medals.
yes. But I just want Cosme to behave itself. It used to, but it doesn't behave itself much anymore.
And not since their last update.
Yep.
Like I said, even I'm having issues.
Crazy.
Just go barging in, Maddox. And it's good to see DJ. Good to see you, brother.
DJ Ronnie G.
So we're doing measurements today. This is highly irregular. Oh, the episode. Good to see you, brother. Even here, Data doubts Maddox's ability to know what Data is, how he functions. Data's using self-preservation here. And Maddox isn't having anything of it.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Data's ego. It's Maddox's ego. Always.
Oh yeah, he considers himself the top cyberneticist. And all he considers Data to be is a simple machine. When Data's much more than that. And yes, this episode does talk about prejudice, and there is prejudice from Commander Maddox about Data. And there we go. More of the history between Philippa and Picard.
Shut up, Wesley. Uh, but he is right.
Yeah, he is right. In this case, he's right, but the standard greeting the crusher is shut up, Wesley. And Cash, with Jordy's reaction here, wouldn't it make it seem like Data and Jordy are friends and contradict what Jordy said in Card Season 3 that he had no friends?
Yeah. Well, it was a lot of people on the crew. I mean, even in the poker games, what they don't care about what came before, because once again, it's about putting their stamp on this. And these are things that should always matter. That was always part of Geordie's character. I just wish
Mm-hmm.
LeVar Burton was more like Geordie, but unfortunately, I don't get my wish.
Well, uh, unfortunately, we can't look at our entertainers as the characters that they portray.
No.
See, Riker's giving his point of view, even though he has serve on one side of the court and Picard serving as the defense. Well, Picard's the defense, Riker's the prosecution. So after Philippa reminds Riker and Picard to perform their duties during the case, Picard reminds Philippa to perform her duty as the advocate, the JAG officer, during the case. Philippa Laval. And again, Picard's being not only his commanding officer, but also a friend, letting Data know that he doesn't have to submit to Commander Maddox's orders, and Picard's willing to defend him, defend Data. These weren't bad graphics for 1988, 89.
Yes, they're not.
Absolutely anonymous.
And people out there, if you do enjoy this kind of courtroom drama stuff, I do recommend doing a lot of studying on this, because it's funny. I know this is just a show, but this will teach you stuff that you can actually use in real courtrooms. You'd be surprised.
Well, the show itself may be a work of fiction, but there is fact put into episodes like this. And
Yes,
it's
exactly.
something that Star Trek established early on in the original series with court martial. And we'll also see it again in Drumhead for Next Generation. And Lady Miss says that she enjoys courtroom dramas.
There's been some really good ones out there. The
Mhm.
Practice comes to mind. There's some other ones. Law and Order has had a lot of really good stuff before. I don't know what they are now, but
I don't know. I've stopped watching Law and Order. I'm just not interested in the show anymore. I mean, it's been going on for so long, I've lost interest.
yeah, it's crazy how long it's been going on for. But it's also they decided to go with somewhat of an agenda and stuff. I've seen some things with the SVU, and I go, oh boy. But stuff like The Practice and Boston Legal and
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff, that just really good courtroom dramas.
I mean, even movies. One that was a good courtroom drama was A Few Good Men.
Yeah, there's been some really good courtroom dramas out there too. Probably more than a few, but
Philadelphia, that was a good one.
Yes. I think we should put the people who work on Cosme on trial. No, I'm just kidding.
Sounds good.
Fix your shit now. But
But in all honesty, Cosme is still the best option to use when we're having watch parties. This way, no one has to have a Discord account or find alternative means.
mm-hmm.
A good line's coming up. Only a few people knew where Data's off switch was. Dr. Crusher being one of them, but she's not here because Gates McFadden and one of the producers had trouble behind the scenes. There was a difference of opinion, so Gates McFadden wasn't on the Next Generation during its second season.
Wasn't this around there was a writer's strike going on too, right?
Yes. During season 2, there was a writer's strike going on, so the scripts that were being used in the second season of Next Generation were for Star Trek Phase 2, which was going to be the second series featuring the original cast. But of course, then that turned into Star Trek the Motion Picture. And Tim, it's good to see you here. Yes, Anonymous brings up My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah,
It's a good courtroom drama.
Great movie.
Even though it's a comedy, it still has good courtroom drama.
It's a great film, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing what you can learn from these courtroom dramas. There's even some really good video games out there that have some really good courtroom drama stuff.
And Lady Miss says you can do that to a human too. Just ask Spock.
Tim, what the?
Tim. Tim. Yes, he did, Lady Miss. Spock did it all the time.
And remember, the whole point of a show, any kind of show or movies or whatever, you can have just characters walking around and talking more than there's less action, but it's always about what they're talking about is what's important.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we've lost in a lot of shows because less can always be more.
Yeah, and let's get to the scene right here between Picard and Guinan.
Yes,
an army of data being property of Starfleet. That would be slavery. That's something Starfleet is against. That's something, everyone from Earth is against at this point in Star Trek's history.
Yeah, and I got to tell you guys, however you feel about Whoopi Goldberg, there's surprisingly a number of years of entertainment of things that you can find from her being on Hollywood Squares and all kinds of stuff that you go, you know what? I think I could have liked this woman before. But unfortunately, things change.
I still like the movies that she was in.
Yes. Yeah, the first Sister Act was actually a good film.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and we know she did.
Unfortunately,
a lot of them did. And just so you guys also know out there,
fondness for Shakespeare.
Is that
go ahead?
You can a show like this, shows that are well written, have a lot of really good episodes. You can sit there and just be like, okay, I like the show for what it is, and that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that. But if you want to analyze this stuff, there's plenty to always analyze.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I always liked about Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek was never afraid to touch subjects that were occurring at the time and put them through the lens of the alien being the ones that are experiencing what we were experiencing at the time. Still leaving it up to the audience to decide, okay, was this the right decision or was this the wrong decision? Even this episode does that.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
And if you're just joining us, the Cosme link is pinned to the top of the chat on YouTube and Rumble if you'd like to watch The Measure of a Man along with us. Which Data has. He meets all those requirements.
That's right, Tim. Exactly. They made you
That's
think,
right,
but they
Tim.
didn't tell
They
you
did make
how
you
to.
think, but they
Yeah.
exactly.
The,
Exactly.
the problem is that even when they give a lecture nowadays with a lot of this entertainment, they don't leave anything open for interpretation. They just say it. This is the way it is, and you will accept this or else. It's not. It's not good.
We'll be getting to one of the greatest lines in Star Trek history here shortly from Picard. TOS had a Vietnam story without saying it was about Nam and the whole civil rights movement without saying it was about the movement. Yeah, that's how you write good television.
Mm-hmm.
You address an issue, but you don't put it in people's face that you're addressing that particular issue. You let the audience come to the realization, wait a minute, were they talking about this or were they talking about that?
No.
And this is a redress of the Battle Bridge set. No, they're not. Now the ball's back in her court.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Hello, Phil. How are you doing this evening? Good to see you, brother. Yes, he can't use his cloaking device tonight, sir.
Remember, whenever you're in a courtroom, you've got to make a strong case, and you need to do your research. And even
Mhm.
if you're not a certified lawyer, you've got to make a strong case, and you've got to know the ins and outs of everything that's going on. That's what I always believe.
You also have to know the loopholes, because there
Mhm.
are loopholes, even in court cases. And Picard gets to get reacquainted, properly reacquainted over dinner. Like Spin Smash, Cash Money, I will speak to you tonight. Behave yourself. Thank you, Phil. You have a good night, brother.
Talk to you later, Phil.
Yes, Captain Picard and Captain Louvois. And remember, in these early seasons of Next Generation, it was all about Data's quest to become human. Still a fantastic episode as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So,
Captain
Cash,
Smash. Mm-hmm.
what would you like to say about this episode?
It's crap.
The floor is
I
yours.
was wrong. No, I'm just kidding. It's great. I like really good courtroom drama, and I like the subjects that's going on. And you can understand that there's some people out there who will say, Data is just an it. This is just an it. And I'm sure with some other stuff that's now going on in real life, people. But with those situations, it's like, well, Data is obviously more than an it because he cares about things, and it's not just he's just a machine, and
Mm-hmm.
he still has his own feelings. And as we know, we will learn more about he will have more emotions to different things, which is very interesting. So I just think Data has always been a great character, and Anonymous. It's
But
hilarious.
go ahead, Cash.
Yeah, the Data has actual friends. He has this and that that he cares about, like his medals, his playing cards, and different things. So he's more than just an it, and that's what you have to prove to people, like Jackass Boy.
Well, this
We'll
episode,
go with that. Yeah,
this episode is about proving that there's more value to you than just the sum of your parts. It's
exactly.
like Data, you know, more to him than just being a simple machine in some people's eyes.
That's right.
We all have value. We all have, reasons why, we treasure certain things, like Data caring about his medals. It shows his accomplishments in Starfleet. And, Geordi being sad about the fact that Data was being transferred.
Yes.
And Geordi's even saying it's not fair.
No.
And, Tree Rock, you're right. When some people, as you're saying it, had critical thinking skills.
Yes. That's something we've lost a lot in society, unfortunately.
We have. And Anonymous says Baron is just in it, but we let him have rights.
Yeah. I knew Baron was built in the lab. Dang it, Baron.
Yeah. Indeed, this is a good episode. A great episode, an excellent episode of Next Generation. I mean, you look at IMDb right now. Last time I checked it, it had a 9.1, 9.2 star rating. I mean, it absolutely deserves it. It shows that when you get a good writer or two or three together to put together a story, that gems like The Measure of a Man can be produced. And when it involves a character that we know and we care about, we're going to be more invested.
That's right.
Humans have an off button. It's called sleep. I don't know. I think of that as the hibernation mode. I don't think of it as an off button. But, it's episodes like this that are worth highlighting, no matter how many times you may have watched this episode. It's still relevant to today.
It is.
Because of the way people treat others.
That's right.
And look at others from different regions of the world. So you should pay attention to what early Star Trek talked about. I'm not just talking about the original series. I'm talking about all of it from 1966 to 2005. That's one of the reasons why this is being done, to showcase episodes like this, to maybe inspire somebody who's watching the episode to go, I want to write something like that. Well, if you want to write something like The Measure of a Man, like Cash said, do your research.
A lot of people don't, unfortunately. They need to. A lot of things that they can discover that they didn't even know about.
And Anonymous is bringing out his inner Klingon, and he says, hitting a person's off button requires a tool most of the time. It's called a hammer.
Oh, Anonymous, I love it.
Like I said, he's bringing out his inner Klingon.
Yes.
But what else about this episode attracted you to it the first time you saw it?
Well, I mean, it's funny when we watched it on the other show before when we were going through all these episodes, and I'm like, I had forgotten how good this episode was because I was so young when I watched this show originally, and I don't even know if I watched Measure of a Man. Um, when uh, yeah, The Measure of a Man. I don't know if I even watched it when I was young, but when, of course, what was it, about now year or two ago or whatever, whenever we did that other Trek stuff with
Almost
Paul.
three. Almost
Yeah,
three.
it's crazy. Um, I was like, I can't believe how good this episode was, and then it started reminding me of how much I love courtroom dramas. Because my brother and I especially would watch stuff like The Practice, Boston Legal.
Mhm.
And it was great. Just a
Yeah,
lot of
and
great stories and all kinds of stuff that were just awesome. And so I just love it. I always have. And I
and
just,
courtroom drama shows have always been around. You had Perry Mason in the beginning.
oh
Later
yeah,
on
I
in the
watched Perry
years,
Mason too. Perry Mason is great. Yes.
you
Yep.
had Matlock,
That was a
and
good show. Yep.
yeah,
Matlock was
you
good.
also had L.A. Law.
Yep. L.A. Law was a good show as well.
But anything else, Cash?
I just I just like every character in this, and now I lost already Jackass boy's name. Was it Maddox or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I
Commander
remembered it.
Maddox.
It's just, but unfortunately, there are people like Maddox who think that way. That it's just an it, and we want to use this for that, and it's the arrogance, it's the elitism, it's all kinds of crap that goes
Mhm.
on with people's brains.
Yep.
But the reason I like episodes like this is because they make you think. I know, what a concept. And that's right, both sides of the story. I agree, Tree Rock. That's the other thing that's very important too. When you're telling a story, you should tell other sides of it, because you want the goal should be to always make the audience think, especially in an episode like this, not to lecture you, not to say this is the way it has to be and there is no room for interpretation. That's just not very good writing, and it's been proven many times it's just not.
Well, I make no apologies when I say this. If I'm watching a show and it's preaching to me and telling me how I'm supposed to think without hearing the other side, I'm going to turn that show off.
Yes. Yep.
It's just like if somebody does something, say there's two people that did something. Don't you want to hear both sides of the story before casting judgment?
That's
I
right.
know it's easy to cast judgment on people when they do something wrong, but don't you want to hear the other side of the story?
Exactly. That's what we also had in comic book movies. We'd have two sides of the story. That's why how different characters felt. It just makes things always more interesting, and always has. That's what we had in comic books before. That's what we have, but now we don't. A lot of that is gone because of the way people are now, and it's really unfortunate. Hopefully, a lot of that will come back, but I don't know.
I mean, could you say that a lot of people nowadays just want the answer handed to them without having to
Yes,
think about it?
yes. Yes, I really actually believe there's a lot of people also in society that just don't care about hard work. They just want things handed to them.
Mhm.
They don't want to think more. They don't want to do. And look, there's things that you can turn off your brain, and it's a popcorn movie. That's fine too. But even those films, you can still probably find stuff that will make you think here and there.
Mhm.
So
And Tree Rock says one of the reasons that he likes the movie Heat is you get the cop and crook side of the story.
yeah,
Well,
you do.
that's one of the
It is
reasons
amazing
why
movie. Yes,
many people like it besides yourself, Tree Rock, and it's also one of the reasons why I am very fond of Flags of Our Fathers and Letters from Iwo Jima, because you get
yes,
both sides of the story.
Yes. And it's important. It's with like everything. You can even talk about Hoosiers. There's still two sides of the story. How the town feels about the coach, how the coach feels about the town. Well, actually, as you could say, there's three sides. You can also have how the players feel about the coach. So, I mean, this has always been proven to just be better writing. You need to show other sides of everything. You can't just show one side. It just has never been proven to be that interesting. Now, there's a lot of people out there, once again, that just go, I accept this. I accept this. There's people out there who would look at this episode and probably say, oh, there's too much thinking. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
this. This is slow. This is this. You know, we need more action. We need more this. But then you have more
No.
explosions or you have more this. It doesn't really good drama. I mean, for me personally, I love really good drama. So I just when characters are very interesting, showing all different sides of different stories and but it's also like the heart and the passion and all that stuff. Same thing we saw on Babylon 5 and other shows like that. They show different sides of it, so it makes you think to not just say, oh, I have to agree with this one person, I have to agree with this one side, I have to agree with this group. So yeah, that's
And
why these shows stick with us so much. Why
mhm.
else wouldn't they?
It's because they give you both points of view
That's right.
in some cases, and in other cases, they make you think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There is an excellent episode of Deep Space Nine that's a courtroom drama, and it's from season 4 of DS9, and it's called Rules of Engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one
I
where
watched that
Worf
one.
is accused of killing civilians on board a Klingon freighter during the Federation Klingon War. But I'm not going to say any more about it in case it's been a while for some people who have seen that episode, or if you've never seen that episode. But that's just another example of Star Trek always having courtroom drama.
Yes. I know, and I love courtroom dramas. Excuse me.
Mm.
And you learn a lot from them, and you learn about and when the situations are interesting, like you can have, if they're not, then it's probably not good. But a lot of these situations have been interesting. That's why even Phoenix Wright, even though it's just a game, there's a lot of cool situations, and they actually want you to figure out the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
so you can win the case. Like if you enjoy that stuff, it's cool, and it's not easy, and you have to work at it. Oh no.
No, I wouldn't expect something like that to be easy, especially if it's trying to simulate a genuine court case.
No.
You're going to have to prove your client's innocent. You're going to have to
Yes.
prove your case with all your evidence to counter the other side's evidence.
Yep. Yes.
Eyewitness testimony. And
Mm-hmm.
but as far as great episodes of Star Trek in general, this is up there.
It is. Yes.
This is up there with Court Martial.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a number of TNG episodes that are really good. There's some obviously not as uh just like a lot of shows, they're not as good, but yeah.
Shades of Grey. I mean,
Right.
you've heard Baron and I bring that one up multiple times.
Um, the one thing I liked about Trek, and just like a lot of things, there's a lot of really good background about characters, about Picard and this and that. And that's why
Mhm.
I people well, I want to believe people like me feel so strongly about when you disrespect Picard like they have recently, and that Patrick Stewart is okay with it. It's really just disheartening. It,
Especially when you see what kind of character Picard was just in season 2.
yes. You look at all these characters and you care about Riker and you care about Deanna, even though she can be annoying, but you actually care because there's so much background going on. There's so much more to these characters than just being annoying or just my gender or whatever. Yeah.
And Lady Miss says
It
thinking
does.
things through and coming up with your own thoughts on a subject take work and
That's
thinking.
right.
And a lot of people don't want to be bothered with doing their own thinking. No, they
Yep.
don't. They want someone to do it for them, have the answer for them.
Yep. Yep. Connecting the dots. And it's funny because usually you can pinpoint where these people are and who they are when you start connecting the dots. So we even have our own judges nowadays that have actually a political bias. That's just a fact. That's not good. A judge should not have a political bias from one side or the other.
No, a judge should be neutral.
That's right. Every judge that should be hired should be neutral about every case. You know, we're even if we want to help save somebody on the subway, it doesn't matter who it is. You can be attacked and you can be persecuted and all this other stuff. And so what happens is, you know, you would think these would be open and shut cases, but they're not because of the way people are nowadays, and they will just like throw you under the bus and throw you on the burner or whatever you want to call it. And so that's why you always have to be prepared. So anybody who goes into a courtroom, and if they're like, I don't want to have a lawyer, well, you better dang well be prepared. You better know that case inside and out, and you better be ready because that other lawyer will tear you to shreds. So.
Because that other lawyer, more times than not, did their
That's
homework.
right, Lady Miss. You got it.
Yeah, Lady Miss, you're absolutely right. They just want to sit and let others do their work for them and then whine when it goes wrong for them.
Yep. And Tree Rock is right about that too. They don't. It's really amazing. I mean, you don't even need college, and I still would always recommend at least get your high school diploma or your GED. But you should be able to, if you can read signs and other stuff, and reading is good. And so, people that want things to go away because it's easier for them, life is not easy for anybody.
Life is it's
Maybe
never
for
easy
some
at any
people it
point.
seems easier because of their looks and this and that, but even that, everyone has their own demons, and other people will not talk about that. But that's, a whole nother subject. But it does go into the extent of how people feel and when you're in front of a jury or even in front of other people. So there are people out there in real life who are like Maddox that would only look at data as a thing that you can take apart and analyze and dissect.
I'm sure each and every one of us have had somebody throughout the course of our lives look at us like we don't matter. Like Maddox looked at data.
Yeah. Sure, Anonymous. Oh man. Anonymous.
But I have enjoyed doing this show and, highlighting the episodes that we've highlighted so far. And I am definitely looking forward to the next one. Of course, Cash, if you have anything else you'd like to say,
No, I'm just
please
glad you wanted
go
to
ahead.
pick this episode and so on. Like I said,
Yep.
Really great episode. So,
Yeah. And, if anybody would like to join me sometime on a future episode of The Adventure Continues, just send me a DM on X. That's the best way to get a hold of me, and we'll work out the details. But Cash, before we go here, is there anything or anyone you'd like to promote?
Well, I'm still working on a few things, and what is it, next Friday or this coming Friday? Um, yeah, I think Mike and I, uh, yeah, I think as long as everything goes fine with Friday, we should get back to Evil West. Yeah, we got to finish
Yes.
up. We got to kill them vampires, man.
Yeah, we gotta go after Felicity and her
Yeah,
vampire gang.
kill them
We gotta
vampires.
get rid of them.
Yes, dang vampires.
We're almost done
Um,
with that game too.
that's cool. But that one, and then just been still working on some stuff offline. I have to make sure everything's going to be fine with Rumble now because it's been a little while since I've used Rumble, and I got to make sure everything works out. So when I do a video of something else, and um, it see how it goes with that, but definitely, I think I have everything set up for the convention stuff. I have to look up a few other articles, but I think I can get at least a good 10 minutes or so on those videos. I don't want those videos to go too long, but a good amount of time get my point across. So, but I've been just also looking at some games offline. I've been playing a Bard's Tale, and I'm like, do I want to stream this? I don't know. Maybe a part of it. It's really a good game. It's older, but this is like the remastered version and stuff. It's a lot of fun. But I'm just looking at what the Phantom Hooligans needs to be. If it's going to still be, should it be even more than what it is? And it might be. So uh, maybe there'll be some actual live streams with StreamYard and stuff on there. And so I'm just looking at these possibilities. I just want to always have good topics. So.
Which is important. You know,
Mm-hmm.
my one standing rule with Pop Talk, if we can't add anything to something that's already been talked about, that's different than what everyone else has been saying, then why talk about it if we're going to be regurgitating everything that everyone else has already said?
Yes, exactly. And there's always other stuff that you can talk about that people A will not touch, and B um, probably not as many people are talking about it.
Mhm.
But as I've said to before, when it comes to streaming and so on, you could be playing a game, say like Persona 5, and you could be talking about a lot of other stuff while you're playing the game. I've done it
Yeah, you
before.
can.
There's no really one right way to stream. But it's just important if you're going to do any kind of topic, you should be prepared. Your guests should be prepared. They should be they want to be there, and you just go from there. But just like anything, it takes work. So
It does. I mean, streaming, it takes work.
yeah,
Planning the streams,
exactly, DJ. Yep.
you know, asking guests to be on and trying to coordinate a day and a time that'll work for your guest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, right now the main focus is the working on the what games do I want to play on there again? I think I'm going to have to continue another Crab's Treasure. We'll play Evil West, and then after that, we'll probably find something else. Do I want uh, Jump Space to be? That would be good. You could join me, and then whoever else. Um, we could do that. That'd be fun. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. Maybe Marvel Rivals. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I
It's up to
understand
you.
Tree Rock.
It's up to you.
Yeah. So yeah, there's always possibilities, and we'll just see what happens from there. But right now, I'm planning on finally doing a video. I need to start making sure everything works out with OBS and stuff. It'd be great, but just got to make sure everything works. And if you don't do this stuff for a while, you kind of forget it. So you got to go back and check it out.
And also, with Restream, because you and I both experienced this problem,
Yes.
because they're always updating, always changing something. You always have to refresh yourself on getting a dual stream to work on one platform and then another platform.
Yep. Exactly.
So you have to be your own Starfleet engineer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I also got to check out the editing again too, and make sure. I'm glad I have that editing program, but I need to make sure to do that again, and what I need to erase, and make sure it works out and everything. So yeah. And having a few streams just ready to upload, so that's obviously going to be good as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you have something to upload to the channel. And of course, I'll be talking about what's coming up on the channel here in this next week. But before I do that, I do want to thank Lorenzo Sleestack for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Good to see you, brother. And again, if you're still out there listening and lurking, I appreciate you retweeting my post about the different game streams and also editions of Pop Talk that I've posted in the groups and in other places on X. Really appreciate that, my friend. And of course, the Admiral, Lady Mist. Always nice to see you, Lady Mist. Really appreciate your support. And of course, Shane, sorry to hear about your hard drive, man.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
But I hope that you'll be able to get back on your feet soon as far as that is concerned. And, you're always welcome to join us here on the channel, whether it's for the Adventure Continues, Pop Talk, or any gaming stream. And of course, Tree Rock, thank you for stopping by tonight. Really appreciate it. Anonymous, thank you very much, brother. DJ Ronnie G, always appreciate seeing you here. Tim, thank you for being here. Phil McCracken, good to see you, Phil. Yes, Cash did behave. He's always concerned that you're not going to behave.
Yes.
But as far as what's coming up on the channel for this next week, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on Pop Talk for both the YouTube, Rumble, and X side of things, we will be watching Superman 2025, followed up after a short intermission or long intermission. Just depends on how long it takes us all to get back in. We will then follow it up with Superman 1978 for our watch party tomorrow. I have not seen Superman 2025. Baron has seen bits and pieces of Superman 2025. And Cash has seen Superman 2025, as has our surprise guest for tomorrow. He has also seen Superman 2025. So it's going to be interesting to get everybody's perspective, both on the panel and in the chat, as far as what they think about the movie and what you think about the movie, what we all think about the movie after all is said and done. And then Monday, there won't be a live stream, but I will be recording one of the next episodes of The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion with Pops. And I'm not going to tell you all what episode that's going to be, but I think you're going to enjoy it. Tuesday, I know Lady Mist is excited about this one at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. I'll be playing Half-Life on stream for the very first time. And of course, speaking of Lady Mist, I want to thank her for the super sticker that she just sent, the $2 super sticker of the puppy who was farting. So, Lady Mist, thank you very much for that super chat. I really don't have a specific clip for The Adventure Continues to play while we're live streaming, but here, let me see if I can find something that's appropriate. I really don't have anything that's appropriate for it. Well, actually, I do have something I'll play. I just hope it comes through. All right, let's see if I can get it to come through.
No, never give up, never surrender.
After all, Star Trek inspired Galaxy Quest. But thank you very much, Lady Miss, for that $2 super sticker. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be playing Half-Life for the first time on stream, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So it's going to be a journey. And then Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the channel, we will be having a special guest, Darmouth. I was on his channel. It'll be about 3 weeks this coming Monday, and we will talk with him and ask him about his channel, how he got started, and what goal he has set for his channel, you know, as far as helping other content creators and where he sees himself 6 months from now to a year from now. And then on Thursday, I will be playing Black Myth Wukon on the channel at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on both YouTube and Rumble. And after that, the only other stream that I will be conducting on Pacific 4 on YouTube will be next Saturday's member stream at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then after that, I will be taking a break. I will be taking the Thanksgiving week off, and I will return to streaming on December 2nd with some more Half-Life and some more Black Myth Wukon. And of course, we'll have a live Wednesday edition of Pop Talk that first week of December. Now, I'm hoping to coordinate with Cash here and also Baron on getting a recorded edition of Pop Talk going at least next Friday. And I hope to have that posted during that hiatus, whether it's on the Sunday or on the Wednesday. I haven't decided yet, but it'll be one of those 2 days that'll be uploaded to the channel so you all can watch it. And then I do want to let you all know that as far as the next episode to follow up on this episode of The Adventure Continues is concerned, that will be on December 6th. And we do have some guests lined up for that one. And our subject matter for that particular stream will be Star Trek, the motion picture, the director's cut, the most recent director's cut. So I invite everybody to come by and watch at that time. And then, of course, you know, the recorded episode with Pops, that will follow that episode. And I am going to let you all know this. Anytime there is a recorded edition of The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion, even though it's already been recorded, I will still be here to do a live introduction and also show the episode for all of you who want to watch it and discuss it. And I will be in the chat discussing it with you. So I just want you all to know how exactly I plan for things to go whenever we have a recorded edition of The Adventure Continues. You'll still get to see the episodes. It's just that the recorded mic won't have the live responses like I will, because I'll be there in the chat. But until then, everybody, thank you for watching tonight's edition of The Adventure Continues, a Star Trek discussion. Cash, thank you very much for joining me. And I look forward to tomorrow.
Thank you for having me.
I know. Anytime, brother, anytime. And I know. You warned me about Superman 2025. But like Kirk says in Star Trek 5, I don't want my pain taken away. I need my pain.
Man.
But until then, everybody, thank you and live long and prosper.